I'm going to quote Paulie Malignaggi. He said, here's the problem I have. And this is, I think, where Deontay's had a problem in the last couple years. Nobody around him is honest anymore, in my opinion. When you fast forward to after this fight, again, just like the first fight where you said you got robbed and everybody's cheering you on that you got robbed, now you're saying after this fight, yo, that thing was heavy. Man, that outfit was heavy. Not one of your team has the balls to say anything about it. See, I always had my best friend around me. He was always real. He would be like, yo, bro, shut the F up. What are you saying right now? You know what I mean? And as a best friend, you're not going to throw him out of your circle just for being honest. You always need that real guy, at least one real guy, because if everybody's just agreeing with you, a bunch of yes men, you start to lose track of reality. And I feel like Deontay putting out that excuse is just another sign, another clue to say there's too many yes men around this guy. Because that was my issue with the whole thing. He tried to get me fired from Showtime and all this other stuff, you know? He was trying to have me and Farhood removed and all this other stuff. So I have sort of an issue with that because I don't have an issue with you being competitive and you even not liking the criticism. I don't have an issue with that because you are not supposed to accept that easily. But when it's constructive, you also have to. When you calm down, because in the moment, of course, you're not calm. But when you calm down, you have to be able to understand the difference between constructive criticism and hating criticism. So those are the words of Paulie Malignaggi. I'm not surprised that he tried, and I'm talking about Deontay Wilder here, to get Paulie Malignaggi and Steve Farhood fired from Showtime. Paulie Malignaggi, I suspect, is bang on the money when he says that Deontay Wilder is surrounded by nothing but yes men. I've actually been saying this for a long time on my channel. The Wilder's just got nothing but yes men around him. Nobody's going to tell him how it is. And that's a problem in professional boxing. If he was, let's say, some business mogul somewhere, billionaire, making loads of money, and he was caught up in his own narcissism and megalomania, it might not hurt him that much. But when you're a professional boxer and you're stepping in that ring is a truth machine. It will reveal the truth about your character, about your preparation, about your mindset. That's what the boxing ring will eventually do to everybody. When you're surrounded by yes men, as Paulie Malignaggi said, you become out of touch with reality. And that's a very dangerous thing when you're stepping into a boxing ring, to be out of touch with reality. And not only is it just the people around Deontay Wilder who are culpable for being yes men and contributing to his delusional mind state, it's also his fans. Because in all the years I've been in boxing, in terms of delusion and idiocy, the Deontay Wilder fans are right up there with the very, very worst. I've been here on YouTube for, a decade now? And during that time, I've seen different sets of fanboys come and go. From the Mayweather fanboys, the Pacquiao fanboys, the Klitschko fanboys, David Hafer, all kinds of sets of fanboys. But the Wilder fanboys might be the least intelligent of all of them, because they have come out with the most absurd excuses for Deontay Wilder's shortcomings, particularly in the wake of his stoppage defeat to Tyson Fury. We're talking about Twilight Zone stuff at this point. And when Deontay is hearing all this nonsense, it's basically reaffirming his delusions in his own mind. That's not going to help him. If you Wilder fans out there really care about Deontay, you need to start being real with him. You can't keep filling his head full of these delusional thoughts. Too many yes men around the guy. And not only is this the case with Deontay Wilder, but it's actually a problem with PBC. Because this kind of attitude is endemic within that organization. And I'm telling you, I made a video shortly after the AJ Ruiz rematch where I said that Andy Ruiz got sucked into the mindset, the delusional mindset of the PBC cult. All these people gassing him up, telling him AJ's an easy fight and this, that, and the other. Terrible, terrible, terrible to have those kind of people around you saying those kind of things in your ear. Yeah, Deontay Wilder, one of them, of course, telling Andy Ruiz, you're going to beat AJ easy in the rematch. You shouldn't be telling a guy something like that. You should be telling him he's going to come back stronger in the rematch. He's going to be better prepared in the rematch. He's going to make it more difficult for you in the rematch. So you're going to need to train harder than you did last time. Wilder wasn't telling Andy Ruiz that. And he was desperate for Andy Ruiz to win. Can you see how dumb Deontay Wilder is? Can you see how detached from reality he is, believing that Anthony Joshua would just get wiped out easy in the rematch? Acting like Anthony Joshua wasn't a top-level amateur for several years, acting like Anthony Joshua hadn't achieved more in his first 23 fights than Deontay Wilder had achieved in 40-odd fights. Wilder's just so detached from reality, it's frightening. And as I say, the boxing ring is a truth machine. And if this guy, Deontay, is to ever regain the heavyweight title again, then he's going to need to get real with himself. But by the looks of things, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Trying to fire or trying to get Malignaggi and Steve Farhood, two people who are critical of Deontay's boxing ability, trying to get them fired from Showtime, that's not going to help. Malignaggi's being very understanding, saying, look, I understand that you don't take the criticism easy. In the moment, you get upset. I get it. Because Malignaggi's a competitor himself. He was a professional, obviously world champion, etc. So he understands the fighter's mindset. But when you calm down, you have to be willing to take the constructive criticism and be able to differentiate constructive criticism from hating criticism. And Malignaggi's criticism and Steve Farhood's criticism of Wilder was never hating criticism. It was always constructive. You see, if Deontay believes all this nonsense about his suit and about his legs and about the referee and all this other stuff, reaching for all these excuses, how's he ever going to improve his game? You understand what I'm telling you? Because next time he'll be thinking, okay, we need to make sure we don't wear that suit. We need to make sure that the referee is this particular person. He's looking everywhere other than in the mirror. That's a problem. Because that is the place he needs to be looking, in the mirror, to try and fix what's wrong. And I'm not just talking about going into a rematch with Tyson Fury. Because he could have the best preparation in the world and be in the best possible mindset and still lose that fight. I'm talking about his career from here on in, even after the Tyson Fury rematch. Needs to get his mind right. And all the demented Wilder fanboys, you are going to be the masters of Deontay's demise, or at least you're going to contribute to his demise with your idiotic behavior and the nonsense that you're coming out with. All these ridiculous theories about Fury's gloves. Come on. That's not helping nobody. Anthony Joshua, for all his flaws as a fighter, because Anthony Joshua has a lot of flaws. All fighters have flaws. But for all Anthony Joshua's flaws, he's honest with himself. That's why he was able to come back and beat Ruiz in the rematch, because he was honest about himself, where he was in terms of his career development and fighter development, what his strengths and weaknesses were. He was honest with himself. And I don't rate Rob McCracken as a trainer. I've said this for many years now. Long before AJ lost to Ruiz, I was telling you that AJ should get rid of McCracken, at least as a trainer. But McCracken, one thing I can say about him is that he's not a yes man. So if AJ is to retain McCracken long term, one good thing that comes from it is that McCracken is somebody who will tell AJ exactly as it is. He's not going to sugarcoat nothing with him. McCracken definitely not a yes man. And that is a great thing that Anthony Joshua has in McCracken and with other people in his team. And Anthony Joshua has the mentality of somebody who's willing to learn. You understand? Deontay Wilder's mentality is far more arrogant. I'm this and I'm that. He's not coming to the table with the mentality of a student. whereas AJ is. That's why AJ was able to bounce back from defeat. Obviously, with Deontay Wilder's situation, it's even worse than it was for AJ because, for one, AJ had multiple advantages over Andy Ruiz. Taller, more athletic, quicker feet, longer arms. So you could see, even before that rematch happened, how Anthony Joshua could win. But with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, and also, of course, Anthony Joshua had success in the first fight. He dropped Andy Ruiz. He was outboxing him for the first couple rounds. He just got caught going in for the finish. But with Deontay Wilder, he had no such success in the rematch with Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury, let's be real, is a whole different kettle of fish to Andy Ruiz. So it appears as though it's a much bigger mountain to climb for Deontay Wilder trying to beat Tyson Fury in the rematch than it was for AJ trying to beat Andy Ruiz in the rematch. Much bigger mountain to climb for Deontay Wilder. So at the absolute minimum, your mind has to be in the right place. You have to be thinking realistically. You can't be delusional. You have to be real. But who's going to tell Deontay? Nobody wants to get sacked, particularly now that he's going into this rubber match with Fury. Everybody's thinking, well, this could be the last big payday. Nobody wants to keep it real with him. Everybody just wants that bag, that one last payday before the ship potentially goes down for good. Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Deontay Wilder trying to get Paulie Malignaggi and Steve Farhood fired from Showtime. It's Hatman, I'm out. Hatman merch is now available. We got t-shirts, vests, hoodies, and more. Just click the link below. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.